Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and today I'm going to review a French individual freeze-dried ration, and this is menu number 1. This ration essentially takes the place of the standard issue French RCIR, which comes in the brown box, and is essentially ready to eat after reheating. By contrast, most of the items in this ration are freeze-dried and therefore need some preparation. If we look at this package, it comes in a clear plastic package, it's got an interesting closure there on top. We'll look at that more in a little bit. It has the ingredients listed there on the front. This is very lightweight in comparison to the RCIR, which has several cans in there and it's a little bit heavy. And it's actually a smaller package than the RCIR as well. And this ration does supply 3,400 calories, which is fairly substantial for 24 hours. Freeze-dried rations are very good for extended long-range activities because they're lightweight and easy to pack and carry, as well as cold climate conditions because the components will not freeze. But they do require a lot of water to prepare. As you can see, the best before date is 6/7 of 2018, so this is within date. However, freeze-dried rations will last much longer than that, as long as the packaging is intact. So let's take a closer look. Here is the menu on the front, if you would like to read that, both in French and in English. When we look at this closure, it slides off, and is a two-piece plastic closure that will allow the bag to be reclosed for future storage. Otherwise, there's no heat seal or zipper seal on this bag. It just opens up. We'll take a look at all the individual components. First, we'll start with the mains. Here is a packet of muesli with milk and chocolate chips. There is a freeze-dried ham and lentils. There's another freeze-dried entree of rice with fish. There's a package of instant soup, a can of deer pate, a can of cheese, 2 boxes of army biscuits. There's 2 energy gel packets, one of them is date and one is fig. There's 2 commando bars. 2 energy bars, 2 isotonic beverages, a packet of apricot fruit spread, a bar of chocolate. This one seems a little melted. It's alright. There's a dozen water purification tablets. Again, this does require a lot of water to prepare. A pack of tissues, and a beverage pack. We'll open that up and take a look inside. It contains 2 instant coffees, 2 tea bags, one being black tea and one mint tea, and a cocoa beverage. The accessory pack also contains 2 sugars, 2 packages of salt and pepper. So there you have it for the contents of the individual freeze-dried ration. For the purposes of this review, I will break this up into 3 meals and omit some of the duplicates. And I'll show you how to use this closure. It's got this little tongue on it that you just stick in there, slide down the bag and reseals. Pretty cool. You can use this to repackage any leftover food. So starting off with breakfast, we'll have the chocolate muesli, some biscuits with jam, the energy bar, and coffee. First things first, we'll need to prepare the muesli, and again this is milk and chocolate chips. If we look at the back, it calls for 125 milliliters of water and to let it stand for 5 minutes. So kind of carefully open this up so we don't damage the package too much. That opened up, you can see inside there a bunch of chocolate chips, lots of oats, kind of that milk powder. So we'll go ahead and add the hot water to the pouch. We'll give that a quick stir just to make sure that water gets all the way down into the corners. This says to set it aside for 5 minutes. So we'll do that. Kind of try to fold that over a little bit. We'll set that aside. We'll get the rest of the stuff opened up. We have some army biscuits. Inside the box there are 2 packages. And on the packaging these are listed as salted biscuits. If you've seen a review of the RCIR, it actually comes with 3 different types of biscuits. Some sweet biscuits, salted biscuits, and chocolate biscuits. So this is a little bit different. It just contains 2 boxes of salted biscuits. Next we'll open the Go For energy bar, and this is a blueberry flavored energy bar, 20 grams. So there's that. And while we're waiting on the muesli, we'll prepare the coffee. This comes with 2 packages and they're joined together. I'm just going to prepare them both. There you go, the coffee crystals, typical appearance. And I will add 1 sugar to that. And I just noticed that that says Sugar Daddy. Give that a stir. I can't forget that we have the apricot jam for the biscuits. And we've given the muesli 5 minutes. Take a look at that. And get it onto the tray. And a quick mix, make sure there's no dry bits. Looks pretty good. So there's breakfast of this 24-hour ration. I usually like to leave breakfast a little bit on the light side and save the larger meals for the lunch and dinner portions. We'll start with the main item, which is the muesli, and you can see it's got a lot of oats and barley in there, also bits of the chocolate chips, and it's kind of in this milky liquid. There you can see it up close, chocolate bits, barley, and oats. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Nice creamy liquid there. The oats are well rehydrated. Great texture to this stuff. Nice dark chocolate flavor. It's really good stuff. And one thing I like about this is even though it's creamy, chocolatey, it's not overly sweet. That's a good thing. A lot of the instant oatmeals and things like that in the United States are really overloaded with sugar. And this is a nice light breakfast item, but it can be pretty filling because of all those grains. It's very good. Let's move on to the biscuits. These are the salted biscuits, and this is the only type of biscuit in this ration. You can see that they're thin, cracker-like, pretty crispy. Try one of those by themselves first. And those are really good, actually. In texture, they're just kind of a thick, dense cracker, and in flavor, it's less salty than it is buttery. It's got a really nice, salty, buttery flavor. It's a really good biscuit. Try some of that with the apricot jam. And I've had this brand before, and I think you've seen on my reviews several times where a lot of the European rations will have this brand of fruit jam, and it is very tasty. Get that opened up and some of this onto the remainder of this biscuit. So there's that. It's a thick golden orange color for an apricot jam. Yeah, and as per usual, this stuff has a great flavor. Just an intense fruity flavor. Very natural flavor. Just kind of a fruity sweetness, not a whole lot of sugar. Just kind of a natural fruit flavor. It's very, very good. Next we'll try the Go For energy bar, and this is the blueberry flavored energy bar. You can see I kind of expected it to be softer, more pliable or something like that, but it's looks to be more crispy, crunchy bar. It's got a kind of a pink color to it, and looks like it has some crispy rice bits in there. Give that a shot. And that's interesting. It does have some of those crispy rice pieces in there. It's almost like a hard candy bar. It's very crunchy, kind of hard to chew, but it does start to dissolve in your mouth and it has a little bit of a fruity sweetness, but for the most part, there seems to be a whole lot of just simple sugar energy in that, just quick energy. Good flavor, but not what I was expecting. You can't really pick out a whole lot of blueberry flavor, even though it's listed as a blueberry flavor. It's more creamy than anything, which kind of makes sense. It's listed as blueberry and cream. Again, pretty good, quick energy. And lastly, we'll finish with the coffee. I put 2 packets of the instant coffee in there just because I had to, and it makes a pretty dark coffee. It's got a very strong scent to it. Smells pretty good. I put 1 packet of sugar in there as well. Yeah, and that'll work just fine. It's a nice bold coffee flavor, a little bit of bitterness to it, but otherwise a good strong cup of coffee that finishes off breakfast very well. We'll finish this up and move on to lunch. And for lunch, I've chosen the ham and lentils, the biscuits with the cheese, the date quick energy gel, the commando bar, black tea, and an isotonic beverage. As always, we'll start by preparing the freeze-dried entree, which is the ham and lentils. You can see this pouch is pretty well designed. It's got a gusseted bottom so you can stand it up while it's rehydrating. It's got 2 tear notches, the bottom tear notch being to make it bowl for easy eating, and then it also has a resealable strip there for reheating. We'll get that opened up. And the first tear notch is above the resealable strip. There you can see the contents of the soup. If we look at the instructions, it calls for 220 milliliters of water and to allow a rehydration for 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll add the 220 milliliters of boiling water. Give that a quick stir. We'll zip this up and we'll set it aside to rehydrate about 10 minutes. We'll use some more of these biscuits with this meal because we have some cheese. We'll get the second package of those onto the tray. And there's the can of cheese. Get that opened up. There you go. Just kind of a soft white cheese spread. We have the date energy gel. There's the coffee flavored commando bar. This one is softer, just kind of bends. It does have a coffee scent to it. Next we'll prepare the tea, and this is just a black tea. Give that a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll prepare the isotonic beverage. And this is a strawberry flavor isotonic beverage. It calls for 500 milliliters of water. It's kind of a pink powder. That'll be close enough. Alright, so we gave that about 12 minutes to reconstitute. And this does make a soup, so as with all soups, it gets the bumblebee bowl. So there you can see in there the rehydrated lentils, got some vegetables in there, got some ham in there. It's got a nice salty scent to it, kind of a vegetable broth also. Let's get that in there. So we'll start with the main item. This is the lentil and ham soup. Get a spoonful of that. You can see it up close. Bits of ham, those lentils, and that creamy vegetable broth. Smells really good. Oh yeah, that's really tasty. The ham makes it really savory, a little bit salty. Very tasty. The lentils are well rehydrated. Actually, could use a couple more minutes. There's a couple dry bits, and that may just be from the corners. Most of it has a really good texture. Not too soft, but not crunchy either, so that's good. That's very good. The broth has a really nice vegetable broth flavor. There's a strong flavor of onions in there as well. It's just a really nice soup. Very good. Since we've already tried the biscuits by themselves, we don't need to do that again. I'm going to break some off and try this cheese spread. You can see it's just kind of a soft, creamy white cheese. Get some of that there. It's got a really strong scent to it. It looks just kind of like a processed cheese, but like I said, it's got a really strong cheese scent to it. Yeah, that's actually really good. I was kind of expecting a stronger flavor because of the scent, but it's really just kind of a smooth, mild cheese. It's very good. Yeah, that's tasty. Don't be tempted to heat that up, it'll explode. We'll move on to the energy gel. And these are nice and portable. They have a tear-off spout and are intended to just be squeezed right into your mouth. And again, this is the date flavored one, 30 grams. Of course, there's a lot of sugar in these, so quick energy. Get that opened up. Doesn't want to tear very easily. There we go. Let's take a look at this stuff. And I expect this just to be a fruit paste. Yeah. So there you go. Just kind of a dark brown, really sweet scent to it. Wow, that's very sweet, but really strong fruit flavor. It's almost like the dates are concentrated. It's a lot stronger than just dates, and there seems to be a lot of added sugar to it. So really fast energy boost. We'll move on to the coffee flavored commando bar. Like I said, this is just kind of a flexible, kind of almost gummy bar. Get that broken open. You can see it in cross section. Has a mild coffee scent to it. Interesting. I was expecting it to be a little bit more gummy, but it's actually a little bit chalky, like the texture of a typical protein bar. It has a mild coffee flavor to it. It's pretty sweet, so it would also give you a pretty good energy boost, but it seems like if this is a little bit of a protein bar, that would give you a little bit longer burn. But it's pretty good. Next we'll move on to the isotonic beverage. Give it one more quick stir, make sure it's all mixed. Looks pretty good. Makes kind of a deep red color. Interesting. It actually has very little flavor. And for something that was supposed to be dissolved in 500 milliliters of water, this was only about 400 for the whole package. It doesn't have much flavor at all. It's not very sweet. You taste a little bit of the electrolytes, but you certainly don't pick up a lot of the strawberry fruit flavor. A little bit disappointing on that one. We'll finish up with the tea. And again, this is just plain black tea. There you go, kind of a golden brown color. It actually has a nice strong tea scent to it. That's really nice. It has a strong black tea flavor. A lot of times these tea bags can tend to be a little bit weak, but this is certainly an exception to that. It's nice strong tea. Very good lunch. Especially enjoyed the soup. That's very tasty. We'll finish this up. A little bit later we'll move on to dinner. And for dinner I have the rice with fish, the instant soup, biscuits with the deer pate, another of the energy gels, and this one is fig flavored, mint tea, and hot cocoa. First things first, we need to prepare the freeze-dried. As before, it comes in a resealable foil pouch, gusseted bottom so it'll stand up. Let's get that opened up. This states that it requires 240 milliliters of water, and it also has a fill line. You can see marked with the arrows there. And this has a really strong fish scent to it. Most freeze-dried food does not smell like anything until you rehydrate it, but the fish containing freeze-dried items still retain a really strong fish scent from all the oil in the fish. And this is 240 milliliters of water. We'll add that to the pouch. That should take it right to the fill line. We'll give that a quick stir, especially down in the corners, so we make sure that the water gets all the way down there. There's no dry spots. We'll seal it up, give it a few minutes to reconstitute. It says just wait a few minutes, so we'll do that. Next we'll prepare the instant soup, and this is a mushroom flavored soup. And soups get the bumblebee bowl. This calls for 250 milliliters of water. In the package you can see it's just kind of a light brown powder. I don't see any solids of mushrooms or vegetables in there. Add the water. Give that a quick stir. We'll have to set that aside for a few minutes and let it rehydrate and then give it a mix. Try not to spill. Have a couple more biscuits, and those will be used with the deer pate. Oh, look at that. Got a lot of fat around the outside. Looks to be kind of a coarsely ground meat. We also have that energy gel and the chocolate bar. Like I said, it looks like it's been melted and then reformed. We'll take a look. Oh yeah, it's definitely been heated up. You see all the surface blooming there. That usually happens when it's been heated and then re-solidified. Get a lot of blooming on the surface. But it still smells really good. It's got a nice dark chocolate scent to it. And we have a couple of beverages, the first one being a mint tea. Oh, it's got a really strong mint scent to it. Give that a few minutes and prepare the cocoa beverage. This calls for 150 milliliters of water. There you can see the powder in there. It's got a strong dark chocolate scent to it, pretty typical of European cocoa beverages. A quick stir. Alright, so we gave the rice and fish a few minutes. Let's take a look. Yep, so it's absorbed all the water. You see a lot of rice in there. Let's get that out on the tray. That's a pretty good sized entree. And it provides about 550 calories, so pretty decent. Yeah, it looks like it's absorbed all that water pretty well. No dry bits that I can tell. Big chunks of fish. A lot of that scent has gone away as it's been absorbed by the rice, as the water soaked in. That scent can be really concentrated whenever it's dry, and it seems to mellow out after you rehydrate it. So let's get started with the main item. This is the rice and fish. Get a couple pieces of fish, get some rice and some of the sauce. Take a look at it up close. There you go. Back on the back there you can see the 2 pieces of fish that I picked up. Ah, smells pretty good. That actually has a lot of flavor. It's kind of a creamy sauce. The fish is a little bit rubbery, but it actually has a pretty good flavor. It's not overbearing, not overly fishy. Most of the flavor comes from the herbs in there, and the strongest one that I can pick out is rosemary. As far as the vegetable base there, it's got kind of a tomato base to it as well. But that's actually really good, kind of a creamy tomato sauce with a lot of herbs. Like I said, the strongest one's probably rosemary, but typical for provincial herbs. Overall, very nice dish. We'll move on to the deer pate. And you can see there's a lot of fat around the outside that's liquefied. I'll try to get some of the meat on the inside. So there you can see, as far as a pate, it is pretty coarsely ground. Get some of that onto one of the biscuits. We'll give that a try. And it's got a strong, meaty, but very salty scent to it. As far as flavor, it is kind of salty. To me, deer always tastes a little bit gamey, a little bit stronger. As far as texture, it's a little bit more coarsely ground. It's not bad at all. It's not the greatest pairing with fish and deer, but overall it's pleasing. It goes pretty well with the salty crackers. It's got a decent flavor and it's pretty interesting. So yeah, not bad. Let's try this soup. Again, this is a mushroom soup. Looks to be kind of a creamy mushroom soup. You can see the little dark bits of mushroom in there. kind of a creamy soup base. It's thickened up a little bit as it has stood. Still have a few chunks of that soup base in there, but I got it mixed up as well as I could. It's got a really strong scent of mushrooms. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's really good. A little bit salty, but otherwise creamy soup with really strong mushroom flavor. That's really tasty. That's really good. You could mix this in a cup and drink it, it'd be a little bit easier, but soups get the bumblebee bowl. Let's try this energy gel. Again, this is the fig flavor. Same packaging as before. It's got the tear notch at the top. And it is a thick fruit paste. About the same color as the other one, actually maybe a little bit darker. A really strong scent, just like before. It seems to be concentrated fruit. Oh yeah, oh, it's really nice. It's got a natural fruit flavor. It is sweetened. Tastes like the middle of a fig Newton, but really strong. That's tasty. I like figs, so this is really good to me. I can't feel any seeds in there, but it does taste like really natural fruit. Very good. I'm going to skip over to some of the beverages and try the tea first. And again, this is mint tea. Some of the tea leaves have leaked out of it. And it looks like a green tea. It's very light. It could just be an herbal tea also with a lot of mint. I'm not sure if there's actual tea in it or not, but give it a try. Yeah, it's got a really strong, probably a spearmint flavor. Very good stuff. Next, a cocoa beverage. Nice dark color, dark chocolate scent. Oh yeah, that is so good. Yeah, that's really rich, creamy, strong dark chocolate flavor. That is very tasty. An excellent cocoa beverage. The United States cocoa beverage is a little bit more milk chocolate flavor, and this is just a strong dark chocolate. I like that. And speaking of dark chocolate, we'll move on to the last item, which is the dark chocolate bar. And like I said, it's got some surface blooming just from being heated and then melted and reformed, but it doesn't affect the chocolate. It's still edible. It usually still tastes exactly the same. Yeah, that's really nice. Really strong dark chocolate, high percentage of cocoa in that. Has a little bit of bitterness, but overall really strong dark chocolate flavor. Very tasty. That's a good dessert. And that finishes off the dinner portion of this 24-hour ration and finishes the ration itself. So a lot of fun to get into this. I love freeze-dried ration items, and this has been very appealing to me. I've been waiting to get my hands on one of these for a long time. Thank you very much to Drew78 for making this one possible and making this ration available to me. So there is a link to Drew78's channel down below in the description. It's called Rations and More. So check him out if you're looking to buy some of these international rations. As always, thank you so much to the viewers and subscribers on YouTube. Your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and I do donate directly to them. So thank you very much for your support. As always, thank you to the ration review community on YouTube and MREinfo.com. You guys are fantastic. And please stay tuned for more in the near future. There will be a lot more to come. So thanks again, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.